There's a good story about why I built this 1995 Toyota RAV4 into a fun overlander. We're going to take a walk around of the outside and the modifications I've done, take a look inside. We might even start it. Hey, and yeah, let's dig into Little Monty, as we affectionately know it as. A few days ago, someone posted on the channel. In fact, it was your friendly neighborhood B5. Thank you for posting. This person, watcher, was watching my video on these Stedi 7-inch spots, and I mentioned the word that they were going to be used for a project called the Radical RAV. Funny, he said on the comment that his mother heard Radical RAV, came bursting into the lounge room and said, "Radical RAV, what's that? Is that something about a RAV4? So he commented, say, can you give an update on what's going on with the RAV4? Well, here it is, folks. Here is the Radical RAV finished. And we're going to take a wander around it, walk around it, look at all the features, and I'm going to tell you the story behind why I did it in the first place. So why did I build this? Why on earth would anyone want to make an overlander out of a RAV4? Well, a mate called and said, "Mike, we're going to go on a four-drive trek down the South Island of New Zealand. It's going to take 8 days. It's going to be pretty rugged. Are you in?" And I said, "Sure, yeah, I'm up." The only issue was I just sold my SUV, so I didn't have a four-wheel drive. But I said yes anyway. A few days later, I was thinking, racking my brains, and then I thought, actually, in the family, we do have a four-wheel drive. My dad's old RAV4. And after he passed, about 4 years ago, this RAV, my dad's RAV, got passed around all the nieces and nephews. I tracked it down to where it was. It was with my nephew. I rang him and said, "Have you still got the RAV?" And he goes, yeah. So can you bring it around? I've got a use for it. I want to build it up into something. So it turned up. It was in a pretty sorry state. Check out this. I'll put a photo up. It wasn't looking that good. However, it still ran. It was my dad's RAV. The next thing that happened was I wrote a list of what we needed to do, and we started to build it up into what you see today, which I'm going to take you around shortly. Long story short, you're going to see on the bonnet, on that trip, it was an absolute amazing trip. And thank you to my mate Jeff for arranging it. We had lots of expensive four-wheel drives, and then this $3,000 RAV with a couple of $1,000, yeah, maybe a little more accessories on it. It went amazing. After a couple of days, all these hardened four-wheel drive guys were going, "Don't you hurt Little Monty," which is what I call it. So the trip was an absolute blast, and we're planning another. The little RAV just did extraordinarily well. And let's have a look now at why I did that and all the things that we did to it. Let's take a walk around on the outside first on the Radical RAV, Little Monty. Well, the first thing you'll notice is these amazing Stedi X-Series 7-inch spots. These are the most expensive mod on it. In fact, they're probably worth just as much as the original car. These things are really Australian made. I'll put a link to the video I had about those. So that was the first change we did. Second thing, put some really good bulbs, halo bulbs inside the factory headlights. These first gen RAVs had a glass headlight, so they don't go all fadey. Obviously, blacked out the bonnet, and then this was an idea that my mate had. Black out the bonnet, and then here was that trip I spoke about in the intro. We just put down all of the mountain passes, the Haere Mauna and Te Reo Māori, and the Witinga Ara, the river crossings we did, and all the heights. That one there was pretty rad, the first river. Yeah, but we made it. And the reason we made it is that you'll see it's got a snorkel. Not too many RAVs with a snorkel. And I'm glad I did it, because that first river crossing, and I'll show the clip of that river crossing now so you can see what happened. So I don't think I would have made that without that, the Snorkel. By the way, this is from, it's really hard to find, there's no RAV kit, but this is from the, I think it's called the FJ90 series Prado from the 90s, for the diesel version. It fits with a bit of modification. You'll notice that it's a bit higher, so I put on a Dobinsons 35mm spring lift kit, not spacers, it's actually springs, and that lifted it up 35mm. And of course these old RAVs, she was sitting lower than even a normal factory one, so putting the spring kit on it was a really good thing to do. Didn't want to, this was on a budget, so you'll notice the tyres, I went and just used the factory alloy wheels and got them painted black by my friendly tyre shop. Thanks to the guys at Mag and Turbo in Lower Hutt. Well done, fellas. And they fitted me up with these pretty cool, check out the skull and cross pistons. These Radar RT tyres. So these are rough terrain, they're not mud terrain and they're not all terrain. They're sort of a hybrid in the middle between all terrain and mud terrain. They are surprisingly good value. They're a Singapore company, they're doing really good stuff. They look good and they're quite quiet. Well, when I say quiet, not as quiet as a full-on mud terrain tyre. Louder than probably an all terrain, but not too bad, and they are really, really, really good off-road. They're not too bad on the road as well. Moving around the back, spare wheel cover, utility bag, threw in there, and then up top, my nephew found this pretty cool rack. So we've got a basket, should I say, up the top. You'll see I've got some tracks sitting up there, and then some AliExpress specials, a 24-inch light bar on the side and a 32-inch curved light bar on the top. They were not expensive, neither was the basket, and then I put some Pro Racks on it, which were, I couldn't find anything second-hand, so these cost a little bit. That setup there, we got the side LED light bar, the front LED light bar. It's some serious lighting for a rig, which I really used. It was good. It was good. So there you go. Those are I think I've covered everything on the outside. Moving to the inside. Oh, look at this 90s Toyota styles. Gotta love the blue. Nice little rack to put my phone on for navigation. Power cord here, linked up, so I can just plug it into my phone. Here's some nice switches. That's for the spots, that one there, and that's for the LED light bar at the top. These are again off AliExpress. They weren't expensive. Down here we've got some more light switches. This one's for the sidebar. Sorry, the sidebar. Oh no, the sidebar there. And then I've got a spare one there for something on the back, which I never ended up doing, and I don't think I will. But yeah, those switches there. Upgraded the stereo head unit with a nice Pioneer, and upgraded the speakers in the doors with some good Pioneer speakers. This has got some, kept the factory runs in the back. They work all right. And then you got to have your photo. Here's the photo to just keep me honest. Little Monty going across the river. An R.M. Williams steering wheel cover. And yeah, and then the rest. Oh, and of course you could have some rubber mats. That was pretty much the interior upgrade. Oh, I forgot to mention, I didn't wire up a rear light. I found these really cool little Swisstech LED lights. It's got a switch on the side, high, low, and a beeper. These are fantastic. I've got a couple of these. They magnetise, and the magnet is really, really strong. That just sits on the back. For the back, when when you get to your campsite, I've got another one which you just put on the side, and that is really hard to come off. That's a really strong magnet. 10 days of really hard work and never come off. So, yeah, thoroughly recommend those. Let's see it. Oh, smoke-free car. There you go. Well, I said I would hear a run, so we better do that. So, little Monty, yep, it's a Toyota. We just turned the key on. Oh, there's the fan going. The aircon works. Fires up. This one's done 221,000 Ks, not too bad. It is an auto, because it was good for my dad and his wife. And actually off-road, it's pretty good. I use the power button on at all times. Power. It's got a manual hold switch as well. And the aircon's not on. There you go, aircon is now on. There we go. Listen to her go. Doesn't miss a beat. So here's how she sounds on the outside. Good old 3SGE. Runs beautifully. Quiet as. Another modification I made based on some feedback from the hard out four-wheel drive teams, peeps, was to put a diff breather in. So surprisingly easy to do. That's the down in here, the breather comes out about there, which is quite low, so it can get water into the diffs and transmission. So this diff breather takes it so that you're pretty hard pressed to get water up to there. That's like very high. Also did one in the back diff, and I'll show you where the breather for the rear differential, which is typically on the differential itself, which is quite low, now comes up here in the fuel cap. And as you can see, you have to be a pretty deep water to get up there, be floating by that time. Why do you need a diff breather? Well, you can suck water back in to the differentials if you're underwater for a good long period of time, and that avoids all that. So it gave me a whole lot of confidence. We did many water crossings and had no issues at all. Surprising things about the little original first gen 3-door RAVs is just how much room is in them. So I leave the seats up. Got this little thing from, little Rev, Toyota thinks it's a Lexus. This little pad here, I keep the seats up, put the things in there. You can take those seats out, it's only a couple of bolts, 10-minute job if you really want to have all that room. But I can fit boxes and stuff in here, no problem. There's actually a bit of side storage room as well. Plenty of stuff on both sides as well. There you go. Thanks folks, thanks so much for watching my video on the Radical RAV, otherwise known as Little Monty. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope that gives you some motivation. If you've got an old 4-wheel drive project sitting around, you've got an old project of anything, it doesn't have to cost much to have a whole lot of fun, not only in the build, but also once it's done. Thanks for watching, appreciate you all, thanks so much.